Well, good evening. Welcome to Space Oddities. Thank you for being here with us. If you're new here, you are especially welcome. If you're a regular, of course, you're welcome too. Joined tonight by some familiar faces and some worn and weary faces as well. We have to my left, Michael. How are you, Michael?
Hi there, very well, thank you.
Daz, how's it going?
Lovely jubbly, thank you.
Oh, jolly good. And Mr. Roger.
Oh, fine, thank you very much.
And over there, stateside, how's Lou?
Doing well, just packing for my eclipse trip.
Oh, gosh,
very
yes.
good.
Yes. While we're on the subject, can you give us some brief details, Lou, about the eclipse? It's an annular eclipse, isn't it?
I can. I know Roger has a lot to say about it later.
Oh,
but
right.
I'll
Right,
be in
okay, well, we'll leave it
Spoiler alert.
Mexico.
Spoiler.
Yeah, we'll let Roger have his day in the sun, so to speak.
Yeah, literally.
Hey.
It's about time.
Well, in the shade.
Yeah. Anyway, on the program tonight, Lou's going to be talking about Mars because we feel that we've been neglecting a Mars recently because the Curiosity and Perseverance rovers are making all sorts of interesting discoveries on Mars. And as I was preparing for tonight, I noticed there was another discovery. I don't know whether you covered it, Lou, that they found something. I think it was Perseverance found it, something that looks very much like a coral reef where there was once water. So some interesting photos.
I only report on real science, so I don't.
Okay. Well,
That's why you're here, Lou. That's why you're here.
Yeah, that's why you're here. Yeah, indeed. So we'll see if we can dig that one out at some point as well. Don't forget that on Thursday is the launch of the Psyche mission to the asteroid of the same name. Very exciting mission, which we talked about last week. We will be covering it live in the afternoon. Remind me again, guys, what time is the launch?
3:15-ish UT. BST, and we're still on BST, yeah.
So 3:15-ish. I hope NASA have got a more exact estimate than that, because it's an instantaneous window, isn't it?
It is. It's
this one is. Yeah.
3:16 p.m.
3:16 p.m.
Yep.
So
I did say ish.
Oh. All right, we'll let you off.
It's Daz time.
Yes, so it's an instantaneous launch window at 3:16 p.m. UK time on Thursday. We will be covering it live here on Space Oddities, so do join us for that. It would be good to have you along for the ride, so to speak. And we got some other stuff tonight. We got news and we got our regular features. Speaking of which, well, no, I won't speak of him. I'll talk about something else for a moment. Don't forget that Space Oddities merchandise is available. Lovely T-shirts, as being modelled by our two gorgeous pouting models this evening, Michael and Roger. And they are available for the knockdown price of £19, including UK postage and packing. Please add £10 for foreign orders. We've also got hoodies available. They come in two flavours, the zipper model, which has got the design on the back, and the pullover model, which has got the design on the front. And they are £35, including UK postage and packing. Add £10 for foreign orders. So I just sort of get the plugs in. I know not many people will be buying T-shirts now because we are slipping towards autumn. Although here in Spain, it's still very warm. I was walking back from work last night at about 9:30, and it was still 25 degrees. So I was still in a T-shirt, and it's amazing. But yesterday we had our first mists of autumn here in Catalonia, and the mornings are getting chilly, so it's not going to hang on forever.
Yeah, we had mists this morning as well.
Did you? Yeah.
Worcestershire, yeah.
Yes, but of course, Christmas is coming, traditional time for getting with the family around a big fire, and it gets very warm inside a house when there's a big fire. So you may want to order a T-shirt just for that occasion.
The T-shirts burn, so I mean, if you're out of wood, that's a good thing.
Indeed, so
yes, lots. You need a lot of them for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. As ever, sorry.
What's the email address again for ordering?
Absolutely. What you need to do, I will put the links up a bit later, but the full ordering details are in the description of this video. So have a look, and there you are. lots of interesting space news coming up this week. It's been, as ever, quite an active week in space. There's always something going on, something launching, as we know. But don't forget to join us for the Psyche mission on Thursday. So let's move on. Roger, you're on. Or you would be if I could find your presentation. There we are. Okay. Right. There we are.
Okay. So here we are for the 10th to the 16th of October. Cracking on towards Halloween.
Hey.
Hey. So at the weekend, we've got the new moon, which also ties up with the annular solar eclipse, which I will give you more information and details on later in this presentation.
Fantastic.
Right.
Oh.
So this was yesterday morning's moon. And,
wow.
Yeah, it's getting there. So that was that. But this was a few days earlier because the sun has made a hard appearance through all the clouds, even in Spartford. So this was one of the rare glimpses from last week of actually seeing the sun. Not too much solar activity with the spots, but still some.
Yeah,
right.
not too much.
Not too
much.
That's the white light version as well.
Yeah.
Just in case you wanted to see. So the night sky, we've still got the summer triangle up, although it is now on its way towards the west, and with dominating the southern horizons and overhead with Andromeda and Pegasus. Obviously, the Andromeda Nebula galaxy being very high up in the night sky now. And as of 11 o'clock in the evening, Taurus is now cleared of the eastern horizon, and the Pleiades are quite nicely in view. It's roughly at the same altitude as Jupiter is at this time, so good opportunity to see that. And obviously we've got the bow of Orion appearing from the eastern horizon.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
we've still got Jupiter dominating the bright night sky in the southeast, and Saturn has still not without some notice in the southern sky.
And Orion is a very nice sight later on in the morning. Was still dark.
I had a look at it about 6 o'clock when I did the moon, and there it was dominating the southern horizon.
That's right. Yeah.
But this Saturday we've got the annular solar eclipse, and as you can see, it covers over from America down through the Central America and through Brazil. Right. So, okay. So when it crosses land in Oregon at 9:18 a.m., you'll be able to see at its peak at 9:18. There's 4 minutes 33 seconds of the annular eclipse, and as it goes down through Nevada, New Mexico, down through to Texas, by the time it exits Texas, it's gone from 4.5 minutes to just over 5 minutes.
Right.
And that's roughly midday local time.
Fantastic.
And then it crosses down over the bay through Mexico briefly, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and then through Colombia. And as you can see on this illustration here, the time does gradually creep up until the point where it starts to wane from Colombia into Brazil. They're seeing it at roughly 4:30 in the afternoon, with only 4 3/4 minutes of the total annular eclipse. But at least they've got the opportunity, and it does cross a fair way through the countries there. And of course, with the solar eclipse next year on April the 8th, it'll be almost making an X shape in comparison to this, going from Mexico right up through to the east coast there as well. So that's what I can show you for that. So quite a good, not bad a length of time for this to be seen.
No, quite good.
And this is what you should see before, during, and after, roughly. Because the the moon is apogee, obviously it doesn't cover the disk of the sun to completely cover it, which is why it's an annular eclipse. Of course, we'll be completely in the wrong position, unfortunately. So we'll have our time at another date.
Isn't it what they call a ring of fire?
Yes.
Eclipse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen an annular eclipse. I'd love to.
I think there is one coming up, and Andy, in Spain, very briefly. But
oh, fantastic!
I went to see the
2026, I think.
Oh no, that's a total eclipse.
Oh, I think there is an annular.
But there is another one
well.
coming to
Oh, is
Spain.
there?
Yeah, there's one in a couple of years' time or something.
Yeah.
I went to see an annular eclipse in Shetland in 2003.
Did you?
And it was cloudy again.
Oh God!
Dear.
Just about to see it through the clouds.
Well, in Spain, we've got a total eclipse in August 2026, another total eclipse in August 2027, and those are the only two I know about. But if we've got an annular as well, that will
I think there is one. I'll have a look.
Thank you.
I'll check later.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the 5 o'clock in the morning, we've got a nice view of a very thin moon who's only just a few days older to meet up with Venus as it rises up. But also, which I doubt many people will be able to see, is Encke's comet. Which
really?
But unfortunately, with dawn breaking and its brightness, it will be a very hard struggle, and it will also be quite low down when it does become visible. So
be a bit higher here for me.
Might be a bit Mission Impossible-ish, but obviously the opportunity is there should you wish to get a chance to see another comet.
Isn't it? Hasn't it got an orbital period of about 4 years? Encke's comet.
It's about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's sort of tagged with the Taurid meteor shower as well.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Just to show some knowledge. This is the path that it will take between Leo and Virgo. But obviously, with our timing of sunrise and stuff, it will become a very hard target to see. But
any idea of the
magnitude? Put it in
magnitude?
there in case there is an opportunity, should anyone wish to try it.
Any idea of the magnitude, Roger?
Well, it's going to be about magnitude 6 or so. So it's not too bad, but it'll be fighting with the daylight.
And Steve says the period is 3.6 years.
There we are. Thank you, Steve. I knew it.
But just to make up for last week, we've got the Small Magellanic Cloud image from the James Webb, which was only just released today.
Fantastic!
Wow, well done.
Quite interesting. Yeah. So,
that's lovely, isn't it?
Now, that was interesting what Chris Lintott said on the Sky at Night last night. That he was telling everybody that we wouldn't get images like this from the JWST because it was an infrared telescope, and look what we got.
And that is showing an image which is 200 light years across.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
As we've never seen it before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's sad that the galaxies, the big galaxies can beat up on small galaxies. That's not right.
Because there is a star bridge, isn't there, between the Small Magellanic Cloud and the Large Magellanic Cloud.
Oh, is there?
There is actually a star bridge between them now. They're interacting, and of course, I think is this the Large Magellanic Cloud we're going to react with first, rather than Andromeda. It's one of them.
We've had their way with, but we've had our way with both of them so far. So
Yeah, we gave them a learning.
Well, this says it's only 200,000 light years away, so it's a bit nearer than 3.5, isn't it? Million.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
But,
but
yeah,
it
we're going to
depends on
interact with
on
these
its
first.
speed. So there we go. All right then. Okay, so onwards with the gallery.
Actually, Rog, before you go on, I just saw a question. Where's it gone? From Ian McIntyre. He said, "What's the circle near Cygnus?" I don't know what. I think he means when you go back to the stellarium image of the sky. It says
Derek called it the Cygnus ring.
Ah, very good.
Oh, the circle. That'll be the North American Nebula.
Oh, right. It isn't.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's just highlighted that. As you can see, the
Where's
Andromeda Galaxy is circled there.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, I know what you're on about now.
you.
I didn't know what he was. Yeah, I see now. Okay,
Yes.
then.
Yes, and if you look at the Pleiades, it's like a paper cutout. You can use.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
Right.
on we go to the gallery. Right. First one from one of our very regular contributors, Jerry DeLay, with the elephant trunk.
Bing, bing, bing.
Ding, ding, ding. And here we go.
Oh, wow. Oh, Jerry, another winner.
you're nice.
Didn't I see a web image of the elephant trunk galaxy, but in infrared, and it was from the James Webb. But when I tried to search for it, I couldn't see it after that, and it was really spectacular because it got rid of all this dust at the front, and you could see all the stars and that behind. It was really spectacular. But I'm sure I hope I wasn't dreaming, but it was absolutely spectacular.
No, if you saw through it, then it wouldn't be the Hubble image, would it?
No, it's definitely. I think it was definitely James Webb, but I thought, well, because I couldn't find it, I thought, well, maybe I dreamed it, but obviously, somebody help me out.
Right.
I can't, I'm afraid. I'm ignorant.
Right. And we've got a lunar image from Kevin Earp with his 8-inch HD ×2 Barlow.
Oh.
And Poseidon Odious.
Oh, Kevin, what's this all about?
Oh.
Whoa, wow.
Look at the detail on that.
Look at that.
Yeah, looks
Nice
like
one.
the lunar rover's been driving around all over it.
But there's lots of rills and things like that, aren't there? And,
yeah.
Nice resolution.
lovely, yeah, lovely.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Move over, Roger.
Well done, that man.
Yeah.
Right, and we've got one from Graham. I don't think Graham has put one in before. So we've got a Jupiter and his 4 moons with his phone on a 5-inch dob.
Oh.
Yeah, Graham apologised he can't be with us tonight, so he's not actually here to see this. But he's going to watch it on YouTube later. He said so. Thank you for your image, Graham.
And this is what we've got.
Wow!
He's got the 4 main.
He's got them all in.
Moon, yeah, he's got them all there.
Yeah, but if he's not here to collect his prize, he doesn't get it. He forfeits.
That's a very good effort.
Very good.
You have to overexpose Jupiter in order to get the moon. So
you do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Unfortunately, but there we go.
Oh
no!
Oh no! Just when you
here's
thought...
a picture of I'll just lower the tone a bit. So I've got Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn that I did with the moon that I did from earlier in the presentation over the night and the following morning. So this is what we've got.
Wow.
So Venus is now getting larger now. It's gone past greatest elongation. So there we go. Not too bad. There's a black dot on the surface of Jupiter from a shadow of one of the Jovian moons. I'm not sure which one it was, but
looks like Io sized.
It needs a good squeezing or something. That black spot.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
But no, it's lovely, Roger. Absolutely beautiful.
And Saturn's got lovely colour in it.
And I thought, as we got winter coming up, we'll have one of the horse head. And this was a more of a close-up image.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's lovely.
Very nice.
Of course, I shall try and do a narrowband imaging of Orion and the objects there as well to try and improve, but not too bad.
You're just lucky that my camera hardware is on back order. I'd be right now.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So that's the presentation from myself here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Rog.
That's great.
Thank everyone for their...
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. Don't forget, if you would like to submit a gallery image, mail it to spaceodditieslive@gmail.com. 1 image per email, please. And if you could entitle your email gallery image or something similar with the word gallery in anyway, then we'd be very grateful, because it makes them a lot easier to find in the inbox and we won't miss them. So we love seeing them, so keep sending them in. And as we've said before, it doesn't have to be deep sky objects, doesn't have to be planets. If you've got any lovely skyscapes with terrestrial objects in them, we love seeing those as well. So anything with the sky, the dark sky in, then we love seeing them. Yes. So thank you so much. Let's move on. Lou, now you have been kind enough to put something together about Mars for us, and here we go.
Yes, well, Andy, you and I were talking about Mars, texting back and forth, and you were saying that we have just kind of been ignoring Mars lately, and I thought, well, my goodness, you're right, that this is humanity's best hope, right? Once we've chewed this planet up and spit it out, Mars is our next best hope, and we just haven't been paying it its due. So we're going to just talk a little bit about the latest findings from the robots on Mars, the only planet inhabited entirely by robots. So this will not, the video will not show. However, this is a picture from the Perseverance mast cam. And can you all see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, good. So right here, I'll circle it.
Oh, hang on. Can we see your cursor? Can you move it? Can you wiggle it about a bit?
Yep, it's an arrow. I'm wiggling it about. Well, it's an arrow on my
see it. I can't see it. Anybody else see it?
We'll use relative pointing.
Okay.
At the top, just a bit to the right of the top middle of the image, you can see what looks like a little white gouge out of the edge of the mountaintop there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a dust devil that is a little over a mile high. A dust devil. And these dust devils travel along the surface of Mars. They're a result of, just like on Earth, we have cyclonic, all kinds of sizes of cyclones on Earth, including little dust devils. And on Mars, they tend to be a lot bigger, about 3 or 4 times the size they are on Earth, but they happen for the same reasons, that the sun heats the ground absorbs the solar energy, the visible energy of the sun, and then re-emits it as thermal infrared. It heats the atmosphere, and the atmosphere rises, and then any lateral motion in the atmosphere causes like a little cyclone to form. And this happens in a much more dramatic fashion on Mars, in part because with the Mars thin atmosphere, the temperature at each successive level of the atmosphere as you go up varies greatly. In fact, if you were to stand on Mars, the temperature at your feet would be much warmer than the temperature at your head. So this creates an incredible thermal gradient, and that's why these things happen. And they're interesting. They are also, they're for the good, they wipe off solar panels from our solar-powered rovers, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But for the bad, they sweep this very, very powdery dust up into the atmosphere. With the dust in the atmosphere, it heats up the atmosphere. It also covers the surface. So when we're trying to get good images of the surface, that can be a problem. Anyhow, so this is just kind of a cool image of a dust devil.
That is nice. But it's about the size of the Empire State Building, they said, or something like that. It's just, or more than that, it must be.
I think it's more than that. It's about a mile high. A mile tall.
God, that's enormous.
They are. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Well, here we are at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, putting the Perseverance rover together, and they're about to install the MOXIE instrument. Now, MOXIE is the Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment. That's too many words for MOXIE.
It's off the tongue, doesn't it? It really does.
It just flows off the tongue, right? But anyhow, MOXIE. Now, MOXIE is an engineering experiment. It's not meant to gather new data or findings about Mars. It's meant to create oxygen. And it pulls in carbon dioxide, liberates oxygen atoms from it, exhales carbon monoxide, and then it stores the oxygen. And it stores it at about 10 grams an hour. That's a pretty good pace for it. You're going to need a lot of oxygen, not only to breathe, but when you think about it, when we launch from the Earth, there's a lot of combustion going on. And what do you need for combustion? You need oxygen. And in fact, you'll need 3 to 4 times as much by mass oxygen to lift off the surface of Mars as rocket fuel. So this is an engineering experiment to say, can we do it? Yes, we can. It has done so. It's produced about enough. It's produced about enough oxygen to keep a middle-sized dog breathing for 10 hours or something like this. I'll come up with these clever analogies. But to lift off the surface of Mars with an astronaut crew, you're going to need 25 to 30 tons of oxygen. And so this is just the first step. This is a scale model. And there are plans underway to send bigger MOXIE-type engineering instruments to the surface of Mars to eventually produce all the oxygen that the astronauts would need to breathe and to launch from the surface.
Lou, can I just ask a question there?
Yeah.
Is this something that could be scaled up to virtually any size? So, perhaps it could support a whole Martian colony one day.
That's the whole point. Exactly, Andy. I have to back off a little bit when you say to any size, but the intent here was to do it on a very small scale, prove that you can do it, and then create larger MOXIE type instruments with much greater oxygen output to send to the surface of Mars. Yes, absolutely.
And if you want to know how much oxygen it generated in total, it generated enough oxygen to keep a dog alive for 10 hours.
I think that's what I read. Yes. It depends on the dog.
Well, yes. True.
If your dog sleeps a lot, probably.
But that is one hell of an achievement when you think about it, pulling oxygen out of thin carbon dioxide. It's amazing.
And it is amazing, and it is absolutely critical. You just can't. Living on the surface of Mars is going to be a partnership between what you can create yourself, what you can grow or manufacture yourself, and what you can bring with you from Earth. So it's a pretty critical step. So let's see, what's the next slide? I've forgotten what I put together here. Oh, yes. Well, we can't forget little Ingenuity. I just thought I'd do a status update. It's now made 61 flights. You can read this for yourself, but this is remarkable. The atmosphere of Mars is about 1% the density at the surface of Earth. So you need some pretty hard-hitting propellers to pull this thing off the surface. And it has a flight time of over 110 minutes. And so it's just been doing marvelously. And as evidence of that, we have...
lovely photo.
a picture from the Ingenuity copter. I forget the height of this. I want to say about 15 meters, something like that. But if you look in the upper part, just slightly to the right of center, you will see the Perseverance rover.
There's Perseverance. There's Percy.
Almost off the frame.
Yeah.
So this is just a lovely picture and indicative of the kind of resolution that you can get from the copter, and for scouting out different places for today for Ingenuity, for Perseverance to go, and tomorrow for humans to go.
It's probably about 15, or because we talked last week about the fact that Flight 59 went up to 20 meters, so it's around there, isn't it? It's going to be.
That's amazing.
Let me go back quickly. Highest altitude.
Yeah.
24 meters. Okay, so 15 is kind of ballparky there. All right. I think. Let's see. Yes.
For a helicopter that was only really supposed to last about 5 flights, and it's now done 61. It's a tribute to those engineers, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it's covered 8 miles.
Yeah.
That's amazing. For something so small.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm stunned at that. But,
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is, and we're finding now that almost perhaps every deep space mission, whether it's a planetary mission or a heliophysics mission, in fact, perhaps all missions in general, are greatly exceeding their planned lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we're getting a real bang for our buck out of all of this.
Yeah.
So this is a picture taken by the Curiosity rover with its mast cam, right as it's approaching a ridge that it has been trying to climb for quite a while. This is its 3rd attempt. It has been sliding. It has been meeting up with what are called ridgeback rocks that have made it hard to climb, but it eventually succeeded. And the reason it wants to climb this ridge is that it appears that there have been mudslides piling up of debris along this ridge, this Geddes Vallis Ridge. And they believe that this is very strong evidence for the existence of water on the surface of Mars. If you can go find these mudslides, these ancient mudslides, and observe them. So this is a characteristic of Mars. It's about 3 billion years old, and Curiosity is going to be sampling the terrain there and seeing if they can find evidence of past water flowing on Mars. And that's what I got.
Fantastic.
That's
Absolutely fantastic.
I still get stunned about the clarity of the images. It's absolutely amazing.
It's amazing what you can do with a thin atmosphere.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And some of the some of the images recently have just been unbelievable. That 360 panorama I showed last week was just it's just.
Can I just mention the sky on that last image? That sky looked blue on that last image.
Yes. Well, there is scattered light.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there is.
So.
Yeah.
Just thinking all the others I've seen have been like a pink sky.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Lou. That's very kind. Sure. And next week you're going to be talking about the Saros cycle, I believe.
Yes, delving in a little deeper into the physics of eclipses.
That will be very interesting. Thank you. Moving on. There's quite a little bit of news this week, not a huge amount. But before we get into that, I want to give you some information about a startup company called Stoke Space. They started in 2018. The company was founded by 2 ex-Blue Origin employees, and they've done something really innovative recently. But before I get into that, which is part of the news, I just want to play you a video about this company. Occasionally we we talk about these new startup space companies, but this one's been going since 2018, so it's 6 years old, but for all intents and purposes, it's a startup. And I want to introduce them to you because what they're doing is really innovative and nobody's ever done it before. So I'm just going to play you this introductory video, which is about 2 minutes, about the company. So here we go.
5 seconds.
Oh, it's stuck.
We are Stoke Space. From seed money to engine testing.
No, that's not going to...
We've moved faster than any rocket company in history. We are building the holy grail of rocketry, a fully and rapidly reusable rocket.
Is that gone?
Our singular focus on 100% reusability and ultra-high launch cadence drives every architectural decision we make. So, we started with the second stage, the stage everyone else throws away. Our unique innovation is a combined system of 30 smaller, independently controlled thrusters embedded into our dynamically cooled heat shield. In the vacuum of space, our second stage separates the
I think we will...
plumes from 30 thrusters.
I do apologise for the jerky video. I am still apparently having problems with my ISP. It's the trunk to Barcelona that I'm having problems with, and I thought it had been solved, and obviously not. However, you get the idea. Stoke Space is a startup, and they are aiming for full environmental responsibility and thus full reusability. And what they did, they thought, as you may have seen in the video, the problem with full reusability with rockets is not the first stage, because as we know, SpaceX have got that down pat. They've now done hundreds of landings of their first stages. It's the second stage that almost always gets thrown away. And Stoke Space had the rather novel idea of working on that first before even thinking about designing the first stage. So they have built this revolutionary second stage, which uses a thing called an aerospike engine. And let's talk more about that. I'm going to just move into the news now, which is it's part of, and let's have a look at the news. Okay, so here's the news for this week, and we start with Stoke Space, and let's have a little bit of information about them. They were founded in, I won't go through all this, you can read it for yourselves, but they were founded by Andrew Lapser and Thomas Feldman in 2018, both ex-Blue Origin. 100% reusability is their target, and they're aiming for a 24-hour turnaround for their the second stage, which is now called Nova. The whole rocket's called Nova, actually. Designed to launch small satellites into orbit. They're based in New Zealand again. They've got launch facilities on the North and South Islands, and they raised a lot of money. And they're going to be launching out of Complex 14 at Cape Canaveral. The Nova second stage, it uses these 30 independently controlled engines. This is called an aerospike engine. And basically what an aerospike engine allows you to do is to create a virtual rocket bell, you know, the bell coming out of a rocket engine, out of which the exhaust comes. With an aerospike engine, you can actually create a virtual one, giving you an amazing amount of control over the whole thing. And the fuel for this second stage, which they've been building, is hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And this is what they've done. They've done the first flight of this prototype second stage. So let's have a look at the flight. And it doesn't look much like a second stage at the moment, but this is complete innovation. See the shockwave go away there. And off we go. And this is the first time really this has ever been done with that type of engine. And this is what the rocket will look like. Fully reusable stage 2, direct access to GTO, TLI, and other high energy orbits, returning to the launch site from orbit. And we have the first stage, which is going to use 7 liquid natural gas and LOX engines, and again return to launch site or downrange landing. So this is the Nova. And I had to amend this presentation because I only named it this week. It was just called the Stoke rocket before that, but it's now called Nova, aiming for the small satellite market. It's good to see all these companies starting up and innovating and contributing towards our exploration of space. Talking of innovation in space, I bet you didn't know that this week Spain launched a private reusable rocket, a first for Spain, a company called PLD Space, and this was the launch, and it's Europe's first fully private space venture. The rocket is called Miura 1. Miura in Spanish is the name of a type of fighting bull, and the launch went fully to plan. Launched from Huelva in southwestern Spain, and everything went well except for the fact that they were aiming for an altitude of 80 kilometers and they only got to 46. A lot of happy Spaniards there, obviously. A first for Spain. The race is on for Europe's first orbital flight, and the PLD Space are now going to develop Miura. They hope to make an orbital attempt towards the back end of next year. So well done, Spain. Good effort. Okay, let's move into something completely different now. Here's for something completely different. An intergalactic LF bot, would you believe? Let me tell you what this is all about, because this is really strange. So there are these objects called LF bots, which stands for Luminous Fast Blue Optical Transient. And they are massive explosions in the optical range. This most recent was discovered by the Hubble Space Telescope, and they were first detected inside galaxies in 2018. The characteristics of these flashes is that the event brightens very quickly and it fades within days. So it's not like supernovae, which can go over a period of many weeks. And the weird thing about this one was it actually occurred between 1,500 light years from one galaxy and 5,000 from another. So something went bang between galaxies, which has never really been seen before. Its temperature was measured at 20,000 degrees C, so very, very hot. And basically, astronomers haven't got a clue what this is. What would explode with such violence between galaxies? And, is this, they've suggested a star falling into a black hole, a rogue star traveling between two galaxies that exploded. We don't know. So this is another weird object in the universe to keep an eye open. And of course, we'll keep you updated if there are any developments in identifying what these strange objects are. Talking of strange objects, the Vela pulsar has really battered the Earth. Now, the Vela pulsar is a pulsar, well, it's a neutron star about 1,600 light years away. It emits right across the electromagnetic spectrum, radio, optical, X-ray, gamma. It's associated with the Vela supernova remnant, believe it or not, in the constellation of Vela, or Vela, however you want to say it. That's a southern constellation. It's the constellation. Vela means the sail, and we can't see it from the northern hemisphere. Being a neutron star, of course, is incredibly tiny. It's only got a diameter of 12 miles. It's one of the brightest pulsars in the sky, and it's easily visible with radio telescopes. And this particular pulsar is about 11,000 years old. and it's very energetic because it produces energy right across the electromagnetic spectrum. It recently emitted a blast of gamma rays with unprecedented power, which battered the Earth's upper atmosphere. It had an energy of 20 trillion electron volts, the most powerful emission from a pulsar ever seen. Most pulsars have less than 10 billion electron volts emissions. That's how the energy is measured in electron volts, as it is in a particle accelerator. The previous record holder was the famous Crab pulsar at 1 trillion. So this is 20 times more energetic and 200 times more energetic than the Velar pulsar had ever been seen to emit before. The cause of this event is unknown, and it may require us to rethink what we know about pulsars and how they generate their winds and their energy. So there we are. Really strange event from the Velar pulsar, which nobody knows exactly why that happened or what caused that event. Just goes to show we don't know, a huge amount really when it comes down to it about pulsars and how their energy budget works and what sort of events can cause these immense emissions. And just to finish off, just to repeat really what Lou said, Moxie's ended its life, and it's basically produced, as Lou said, it's produced oxygen from the thin carbon dioxide atmosphere, and it's produced enough oxygen to keep a dog alive for 10 hours, as Lou said, obviously depending on the dog. So there we are. So that's just a few things in the news this week, and I hope you enjoyed those.
Yeah, Ian says the LF bot is a Death Star malfunction.
Oh, obviously.
So it's sorted.
Yeah,
that's sorted now. That's sorted. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you for that, Ian. But it may as well be, because we've got absolutely no explanation otherwise. I mean, what could possibly go bang like that between galaxies? That's really strange.
Very strange, yeah. Very strange.
Yeah.
And if I could ask a question, the Vela Nebula, I would imagine with a diameter of only 12 miles, that this thing must spin awfully fast. It must have a very fast radio pulse.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know the frequency. We can look it up. Can somebody quickly look up the frequency of the Velar pulsar to answer Lou's?
It's got to be in the millisecond.
It's got to be a millisecond pulsar, hasn't it? Yeah.
Go in there now.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So.
I've got 89.33 milliseconds.
There you are. That's incredibly fast.
That's Wikipedia though. So
I know we write them.
Yeah. So there's a millisecond pulsar, incredibly fast rotating, and we really don't know. We roughly know the physics involved with pulsars, but we don't know. A lot more than that. They need a lot more research, because they're, the Velar pulsar has shown that they're unpredictable. We don't know what they're going to do next. Like black holes, they're equally unpredictable. Somebody once said about black holes that if a black hole stuck out a sign saying "Lars Coke for 3,000 light years," nobody would be a bit surprised. It's because it's that degree of unpredictability. Pulsars and the environment they exist in are very, very complex things to model, it must be said, and you need supercomputers to figure out what's going on. But there we are. So there are. That's the news for this week. Apologies for the jerky video. I will get back to my ISP and wring their tiny necks and get them to sort this out, because they told me they'd fixed it, but obviously not. All right then. Right, so I think that's about it for this evening, isn't it, guys? Unless anybody wants to talk about anything else. Can I just remind you of a couple of things? Don't forget, if you would like to buy us a coffee, we greatly appreciate your coffee money, because it helps us to keep the show on the road. So if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can scan the code there. And also, don't forget that the T-shirts and hoodies are available. And what else? Do remember to like and subscribe, please, because that helps us get noticed by the YouTube algorithm. And, we really want to get noticed by YouTube a lot more. because, well, we do. And we would like to be, obviously, the #1 astronomy and space exploration channel on YouTube. I mean, we can dream. We've got something to aim for. But your support is greatly appreciated as ever. Don't forget that we will be back on Thursday. So we will go live, I guess, at guys, about half an hour before launch.
Yeah, about 2:45.
BST UK time, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try and go live about 2:45. Keep your eye on the channel because I will create the live stream. You'll see it previewed on the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell when you do subscribe, or if you've already subscribed, edit that and click the notification bell so you'll get a notification of whenever we do go live. And I think we've got a few space launches coming up after Psyche, so don't forget to get notified so you always know what's going on at Space Oddities. Because don't forget, if it's happening in space, it's happening on Space Oddities. I would like to thank my fellow panelists this evening.
Just one thing, Andy, before we go.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Axiom Space joining with Prada to build the next moon, the moon suits?
Well, it's an interesting choice. In case, viewers, you hadn't seen this in the news, Prada, yes, that Prada, has joined with Axiom Space, who are building modules for the International Space Station, which will eventually detach and form a free floating space station, if you like. They are going into partnership with Prada to build new spacesuits, which is very, I'm sure they haven't gone into it with Prada for fashion purposes. Let's put that out of the way.
Oh, yeah. But
I mean, it would be great if they did. Can you imagine if there were a Prada range of spacesuit and accessories?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
everybody walking down the street in spacesuits, that would be brilliant.
I mean, I suppose what they're going to do is cover it in sequins to help with the thermal insulation to reflect heat and that.
Imagine the advertising program.
Yes.
And mission control would say launch sequence starting.
Oh,
a nice set of high heels. They look very nice.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, no, it's not being done for fashion.
Ian says the devil wears spacesuits.
Yeah, interesting partnership.
Oh, and Steve says, do Prada do XXL? Can't go if not.
Yeah. So. Can I? Yeah, absolutely. Interesting partnership. We'll have to see what they come up with. I'd like to think that unlike what we see on the catwalk all the time, it will be practical and useful, unlike that rubbish that we see, poncing up and down.
It'll be a good job it's not Jean-Paul Gaultier, because the women will be looking like in Madonna outfits.
All the astronauts will have to be about 6 foot tall and very, very slim.
Yeah, that's right. With a mean look on their faces.
Yeah. No, don't smile. Don't smile.
Don't smile. Yeah.
Well, I've just looked at the Prada website and it's on there. Prada and Axiom.
Oh, that's a bizarre partnership. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Special. It's under special projects.
Yeah, I'll be happy when Top Man join with them.
I think with us with a bit of girth, I think it'll have to be Evans's. The outside shop.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Right then. So anyway, thank you to Michael. Thank you to Daz. Thank you to Roger. Thank you, Lou, for your lovely Mars presentation tonight. And we will be back if you don't see us for the Psyche launch on Thursday, which is going on a Falcon Heavy. So Falcon Heavy launches are always worth watching. That monstrous beast of a rocket.
And in daylight.
And in daylight, yes, absolutely.
Yes, good. I think they listen to it. Oh, just another thing, Andy. Just like to remind people.
You're worse than Columbo.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just another thing. You put me off my stroke now. On Sunday, it's an update on the sample return from OSIRIS-REx on
yes.
YouTube. So
Right.
keep an eye out for that as well, folks. See what's going on.
Yep.
Yes, and that's been interesting because since we covered the OSIRIS-REx with sample return, the when they opened the return canister, they were not surprised, but I think a little bit overjoyed. I would have been to discover the whole of the inside of it was covered in dust. So they collected even more than they thought they had. So that's good news. They're going to have a lot of material to work with. And as Daz so kindly reminded us on Sunday on YouTube. Any idea what time, Daz?
Not at the moment, no. I think it's about 5. I think I read somewhere about 5 p.m. But I
Right.
don't know whether that was US time or our time.
Right. Well, you can find that on YouTube or on NASA TV, no
Yeah.
doubt. Keep an eye on it because they will be giving an update on, I think, the basics of what they found, basically. So there we are.
Yeah.
Anyway, from all of us here at Space Oddities, if you don't catch us on Thursday, we'll be back, of course, next Tuesday with even more fun and frolics from the universe. Until then, we'd like to wish you all a fantastic week. Do enjoy yourselves. Have a fantastic
Yeah, everybody in the US, enjoy your eclipse.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
yes. Yes.
Our American friends do enjoy the eclipse.
Yeah.
We're very jealous.
We want pictures, Lou. We want pictures.
Pictures are
It's not real unless you post it on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you can do a live cast. Ooh.
A live cast.
Ooh.
Well, we are
Ooh.
actually we just got this week official written notice that we had won our NASA grant to essentially be the face of heliophysics.
Oh,
NASA.
really?
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Years.
Yeah.
And so this it's too close to the annular to do much, but for the total eclipse in April 8th across the United States, we will be live streaming from Southern Illinois University and other places in the path. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, many congratulations, Lou. That's excellent news.
Yeah, excellent news.
Yeah. All right. And on that bombshell, we leave you for this evening. So thank you for watching. We'll see you same time next week for even more fun. If you can stand the excitement, take care of yourselves. And from all of us here at Space Oddities, bye-bye.
Bye for now. Keep